The circulatory system or cardiovascular system. The circulatory system is a system of organs that includes the heart, blood vessels, and blood, which is circulated throughout the body. It includes the cardiovascular system, or vascular system, that consists of the heart and blood vessels, from Greek cardia, meaning heart, and Latin vascula, meaning vessels. The circulatory system has two divisions: a systemic circulation or circuit, and a pulmonary circulation or circuit. Some sources use the terms cardiovascular system and vascular system interchangeably with circulatory systems. Circulatory system, the human circulatory system. Red indicates oxygenated blood carried in arteries. Blue indicates deoxygenated blood carried in veins. Capillaries join the arteries and veins. The network of blood vessels are the great vessels of the heart, including large elastic arteries, and large veins, other arteries. Smaller arterioles, capillaries that join with venules, small veins, and other veins. The circulatory system is closed in vertebrates, which means that the blood never leaves the network of blood vessels. Many invertebrates, such as arthropods, have an open circulatory system with a heart that pumps a hemolymph, which returns via the body cavity rather than via blood vessels. Fluid is a fluid consisting of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It is circulated around the body, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the tissues and collecting and disposing of waste materials. Circulated nutrients include proteins and minerals, and other components include hemoglobin, hormones, and gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide. These substances provide nourishment, help the immune system to fight diseases, and help maintain homeostasis by stabilizing temperature and natural pH. In vertebrate, the lymphatic system works alongside the circulatory system. It collects excess fluid that leaks out of blood capillaries into the spaces between body cells and transports this fluid back into the bloodstream as lymph. This process is vital because, without the lymphatic system, the blood would lose too much fluid, and circulation would be disrupted. The lymphatic system also plays an important role in immunity. Unlike the closed blood circulatory system, the lymphatic system is open. Because of its supportive role, it is often described as a secondary circulatory system. The circulatory system can be impacted by various cardiovascular diseases. Medical specialists, known as cardiologists, treat conditions of the heart, while cardiothoracic surgeons perform surgical procedures on the heart and nearby structures. Vascular surgeons specialize in diseases affecting blood vessels and the lymphatic system. The circulatory system is made up of the heart, blood vessels, and blood. In vertebrates, it is also known as the structure, cardiovascular, or vascular system, and these terms are often used interchangeably. This system is responsible for transporting blood throughout the body. The circulatory system is divided into two main pathways: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation carries oxygen-poor blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs, where it picks up oxygen and then returns the oxygen-rich blood to the left side of the heart. Systemic circulation then sends this oxygenated blood from the left heart to the rest of the body and brings deoxygenated blood back to the right heart through large veins called the vena cava. Systemic circulation includes both macrocirculation, which involves large blood vessels, and microcirculation, which occurs in tiny vessels. An average adult has about 4.7 to 5.7 liters of blood, making up roughly 7% of body weight. Blood is composed of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The circulatory system works closely with the digestive system to deliver nutrients needed to keep the heart and body functioning. There are also specialized circulatory pathways, including coronary circulation to the heart muscle, cerebral circulation to the brain, renal circulation to the kidneys, and bronchial circulation to the airways of the lungs. The human circulatory system is a closed system, meaning blood stays within the blood vessels. Through microcirculation, nutrients are delivered directly to body tissues and organs. The lymphatic system is an important part of the circulatory system. It includes lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, lymphatic organs and tissues, and lymph fluid. Unlike the blood circulatory system, the lymphatic system is an open system. Its main role is to collect excess interstitial fluid and return it to the bloodstream through lymphatic ducts. It also works closely with the immune system to help protect the body from disease-causing pathogens. The heart. The heart is responsible for pumping blood throughout the entire body. In humans, the heart contains one atrium and one ventricle for each type of circulation. Because the body has both systemic and pulmonary circulation, the heart has four chambers in total: the left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and right ventricle. Pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation carries oxygen-poor blood from the heart to the lungs. Blood returning from the body enters the right atrium through the superior and inferior vena cava. It then passes through the tricuspid, right atrioventricular valve into the right ventricle. From there, the blood is pumped through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the pulmonary artery and sent to the lungs. In the lungs, carbon dioxide is released and oxygen is taken up. The oxygen-rich blood is then carried back to the left atrium by the pulmonary veins. The bronchial circulation is a separate pathway from systemic circulation and supplies oxygenated blood to the tissues of the larger airways within the lungs. Systemic circulation. Systemic circulation delivers oxygenated blood from the left side of the heart to the rest of the body through the aorta. After oxygen is used by body tissues, the deoxygenated blood returns to the right side of the heart through two large veins, the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. This blood enters the right atrium and is then sent to the lungs for reoxygenation. Systemic circulation includes both macrocirculation, involving large blood vessels, and microcirculation, which occurs within capillary networks connecting arteries and veins. Blood vessels. The blood vessels of the circulatory system include arteries, veins, and capillaries. The largest arteries and veins that carry blood to and from the heart are called the great vessels. Arteries. Oxygen-rich blood enters the systemic circulation as it leaves the left ventricle through the aortic semilunar valve. The first and largest artery in this pathway is the aorta, which has thick, strong walls. The aorta curves upward, giving off branches that supply the upper body. After passing through the diaphragm at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra, it enters the abdomen, where it continues downward and sends branches to the abdominal organs, pelvis, perineum, and lower limbs. The walls of the aorta are highly elastic. This elasticity helps maintain steady blood pressure throughout the body. When the heart pumps nearly 5 liters of blood into the aorta, the vessel stretches and then recoils, producing the pulsating pressure felt as a heartbeat. As the aorta divides into smaller arteries, the vessels become less elastic but more flexible. Capillaries. Arteries branch into smaller vessels known as arterioles, which then divide into capillaries. Capillaries are tiny vessels where blood is delivered to tissues. These vessels eventually join together to move blood into the venous system. In a person weighing about 70 kilograms, the total length of capillaries in muscle tissue alone is estimated to range from 9,000 to 19,000 kilometers. Veins. Capillaries join together to form small vessels called venules, which then merge to create veins. The venous system ultimately drains blood into two large veins: the superior vena cava, which collects blood from regions above the heart, and the inferior vena cava, which drains blood from areas below the heart. Both of these major veins deliver blood into the right atrium of the heart. Portal veins. Typically, blood flows from the heart through arteries, then into capillaries, and finally returns to the heart through veins. Portal veins differ from this usual pattern. In humans, the main example is the hepatic portal vein. This vessel gathers blood from capillaries in the digestive tract after nutrients have been absorbed and transports it to the liver. Instead of returning directly to the heart, the blood passes through a second network of capillaries within the liver for processing. Coronary circulation. The heart muscle receives its oxygen and nutrients through a specialized branch of the systemic circulation known as coronary circulation. The heart does not rely significantly on the blood inside its chambers for nourishment. Coronary circulation begins at the base of the aorta, where the right and left coronary arteries supply the heart muscle. After delivering oxygen and nutrients, blood drains through the coronary veins into the coronary sinus and then into the right atrium. Valves prevent blood from flowing backward during atrial contraction, while some small cardiac veins empty directly into the heart chambers. Cerebral circulation. The brain has two main sources of blood supply: an anterior circulation and a posterior circulation. The anterior circulation originates from the internal carotid arteries and supplies the front portion of the brain. The posterior circulation comes from the vertebral arteries and supplies the back of the brain and the brainstem. These two circulations connect at the circle of Willis, allowing blood to be shared between them. Blood flow within the brain is carefully regulated by the neurovascular unit to meet the high energy demands of active neurons.